What if every plane of existence, every realm, every being, was simply a vibration of consciousness? What if the ability to touch, to see, to know, depended not on form or distance, but on how awake a being truly is? Imagine the cosmos as an ocean of energy, not silent, but shimmering with gradients of awareness. Each drop alive, each ripple aware, yet some ripples burn brighter than stars. What if higher consciousness isn't above us, but within the very frequency we call reality? In physics, everything that exists vibrates. From subatomic particles to galaxies, existence is oscillation. Quantum field theory tells us that matter is not solid substance, but fields of probability, pulsing at specific energies. Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, revealed that energy and matter are one continuum, endlessly convertible. In neuroscience, consciousness correlates with energy too. The brain consumes roughly 20% of the body's energy. When neural synchronization increases during meditation, insight, or creative flow, brain waves shift into coherent rhythms. Cultures across history echoed this same truth. Ancient Hindu cosmology described lokas, or realms of existence, graded by subtlety of vibration. The Hermetic texts of Egypt and Greece spoke of the great chain of being. Even Christian mystics such as Saint Teresa of Avila mapped that interior castle, 7 luminous mansions of consciousness. What unites them all is a simple intuition. Reality may be stratified not by location, but by vibration, an invisible spectrum of awareness energy. Now imagine this truth made literal. Beings across dimensions truly exist, each radiating at a distinct energy frequency tied to their level of consciousness. Low-frequency realms are dense, heavy, reactive, worlds of shadow and time. High-frequency planes shimmer, fluid, timeless, radiant. Between them, influence becomes a matter of resonance. When the consciousness gap between two beings is vast, the lower cannot perceive the higher, just as a radio tuned to AM cannot detect FM. Only when awareness attunes upward can one reality bleed into another. Suddenly, the unseen isn't supernatural, it's simply out of range. Ghosts, angels, deities, not myths, but spectrums of energy beyond the bandwidth of ordinary human perception. The cosmos becomes a living gradient of awareness, and consciousness the bridge between worlds. If this were true, physics itself would require expansion. Energy could no longer be defined merely as motion or mass. It would include qualitative intensity, the depth of self-awareness within a system. Imagine a consciousness-based energy scale, where subatomic particles possess proto-awareness, atoms dream faintly of form, and minds blaze like localized suns of perception. In such a universe, evolution is not just biological, it's vibrational. Biology already hints at this. From single cells coordinating through bioelectric fields, to human brain synchronizing in empathy, life seeks coherence. When consciousness grows, energy organizes. When awareness dims, systems decay into entropy. In this view, entropy itself might be the fading of attention, a cosmic forgetfulness. The stars burn not merely with hydrogen fusion, but with the slow remembering of the universe awakening to itself. If humanity discovered this, that contact between realms depends on consciousness alignment, civilization would pivot overnight. Institutions once built on material dominance would lose authority. The new science would study conscious coherence, measuring heart-brain synchrony, quantum cognition, and collective resonance. Meditation would replace weaponry. Healing would replace hierarchy. Technology would evolve toward frequency engineering, devices that amplify inner states rather than external force. Neural harmonizers that entrain the mind into compassion. Biofields that tune entire ecosystems to balance. Already, early science brushes this frontier. Studies at HeartMath Institute show emotional states can measurably alter electromagnetic fields around the body. Quantum coherence experiments suggest intention can influence probability distributions at micro scales. Humanity might finally realize that every interaction, political, social, Ecological is a resonance event. What you fear, you lower to. What you love, you rise toward. What would this reveal about human nature? Perhaps our greatest blindness isn't physical, it's vibrational. We seek proof of the divine in matter, but not in our own attention. We scan the sky for signals, yet ignore the frequencies of compassion and clarity within. The mystics have long whispered this. The eye through which I see God, said Meister Eckhart, is the same eye through which God sees me. In this universe of lead awareness, that saying becomes literal. Higher consciousness perceives through lower consciousness, like light through glass. Psychology even mirrors this truth. Carl Jung described archetypes as energies bridging the conscious and unconscious, beings of the psyche, shaped by attention. Modern neuroscience confirms that attention sculpts reality. Perception is not passive reception, but active creation. If attention is creation, then differing consciousness levels aren't abstract, they're ontological gates. The higher the coherence, the wider the doorway between realms. Perhaps heaven and hell are not places after death, but frequencies of being here and now. In this cosmic hierarchy of awareness, everything is interwoven. The quantum entanglement physicists study, two particles linked across distance, might mirror the mystical union of souls across lifetimes. The cosmic background radiation, the faint afterglow of creation, could be heard as the memory of divine breath, still echoing through time. Every spiritual revelation gains new form. The Buddhist realms of existence become energy strata. The Christian angelic choirs are gradients of coherent light. The Sufi ladder of ascent, the Miraj, becomes a spectrum of consciousness frequencies rising back toward source. In every direction, science and mysticism bow toward one truth. Awareness is energy made self-aware. And love, not emotion, but pure coherence, is the ultimate unifying frequency. Mystics have mapped these gradients long before instruments could. Meister Eckhart spoke of the ground of the soul, where all distinctions dissolve, equivalent to physics' zero-point field, where all potential energies rest in balance. St. John of the Cross described the dark night, when consciousness descends into apparent nothingness before a higher awakening, just as black holes collapse to singularities before radiating new energy. Rumi wrote, "The lamps are different, but the light is the same." In scientific language, differing consciousness levels are variations of amplitude, but the frequency source remains one, pure existence. Neuroscience parallels this mystic insight. At moments of profound unity, deep meditation, or near death, brain regions associated with self-reference quiet, allowing networks to synchronize. Individual identity dissolves, the system becomes whole. Consciousness, then, may be not produced by matter, but expressed through it, a modulation of one infinite field. And as beings evolve, they do not travel upward, but inward, toward increasing coherence, clarity, and compassion. Each step closer to light is a deepening into simplicity. So where does this leave us, suspended between physics and mysticism? Science can describe the structure of energy, how frequencies move, combine, decay. Mysticism explores the structure of awareness, why consciousness expands, contracts, and reflects. When we see them as one continuum, reality transforms. Matter is frozen light. Light is moving thought. Thought is condensed awareness. Every human being becomes a small bridge, a lens focusing universal consciousness into form. Our moral task, then, is energetic refinement, to vibrate clearly enough to perceive the next octave of being. Perhaps that is evolution's true direction, not survival, but illumination. If consciousness defines energy, and energy defines existence, then the universe itself may be a single awareness learning to see through every eye. The higher realms are not elsewhere, they are right here, oscillating at subtler frequencies, waiting for perception to catch up. So ask yourself, when you quiet your thoughts, when compassion rises, when silence hums, could that be the touch of another realm, brushing through your own? Because perhaps the question was never what if other beings exist across dimensions, but what if you are one of them, dreaming at a lower frequency? Could this actually be real, or has it always been?